So this is the third part of working with layers. This is how to group layers. We at the moment have the blue, the green and the red lined up on the layers panel there. And of course, these are all working as independent, separate colors. We'll talk about how to select these individual objects later, but you can see that these are moving as separate entities. It's a very useful thing to actually unify these for various reasons. At the moment, we've got 3 layers on top of a white background. When one's building up plant images, one can actually have hundreds of layers, and this can all get rather confusing in the layers panel if we don't file them away and keep it all neat and keep it in order. So how to do that? If I press Control on the keyboard and left click and left click and left click while holding down Control, you notice it allows me to select all of them together. If I then right click, it brings up this menu, and this menu says Group from Layers, and I'm going to click Group from Layers, and it gives me this panel. It gives me an option of calling it something, so I'm going to call it 3-color group. Okay, that. And let's put those 3 colors, these 3 colors here, into one single file called the 3-color group. And you notice it's neatened up my layers panel because I've got them all tucked away there. If I turn that file off, all of them disappear together. If I turn it on, all of them appear together. The other thing is that these now work as a unified whole, which can be very useful if you've created your perfect composition from flowers, and that could be a very big group indeed, of course. Now, if we open that file by clicking on it, you can see that the colors are still there, and if I select the blue, I can still move the blue around independently, and if I select the green, I can still move the green around independently, etc., etc. However, they are all grouped together. So this is a useful thing to be able to keep the panel tidy and to actually be able to keep them as a whole. If we select them, I'm going to select them by pressing Control-T. We'll talk more about selection later, but Control-T has produced that selection box. We've got these toggle points on it. I can make them bigger all together, smaller all together. I can rotate them all together. So they're actually working as a unified whole now. And that's all to do with the fact that they've been put in a single file. Now, if we want to ungroup them and we don't want our group anymore, I can right click on that and we should be able to ungroup them, which is not happening at the moment, which is not brilliant, but here we are. I've got the delete group option. Here's delete group. I click on delete group, but it brings you up an option. It says group and contents. Don't do that because that might mean you lose everything, or maybe you do want to lose everything, but I don't at this point. So I'm going to click group only. And that means that they're no longer in a file, but nothing's actually been deleted. And I've still got them, and I can still play around with these separate objects just for